Christmas is Jewish. Now let me explain. So the word Christ comes from a Greek word Christos, which actually is a Greek equivalent to the Hebrew word Moshiach, meaning Messiah. The whole idea of the birth of the Messiah, that's what we celebrate when we celebrate Christmas. We celebrate the long-awaited prophesied Messiah being born. And the reason that I say that it's a Jewish thing is everything about it is embedded in the Hebrew scriptures, what we call the Old Testament. There's so many pages and verses and prophecies related to what we call Christmas, right in the Old Testament scriptures, that were prophesied and promised to and for the Jewish people. We read in Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." Emmanuel literally means in Hebrew, with us, Emmanuel, God. There would be a miraculous birth, a birth from a virgin, somebody that had not had sexual relations with a man. This is why it's a sign. This is why it's something incredible. Turn over a couple of pages to Isaiah chapter 9 and verse number 6. We have another prophecy where it says, "For unto us a child is born." And this is not just some random kid, okay? This is speaking of the anointed one, the Messiah, the Son of David. "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder." Meaning this one that's going to be born is going to be ruler of all, King of kings, if you will. And it says, "The government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God." That's El Gibor in the Hebrew. This child, this son, is going to be God in a human body. And then it says, "The everlasting Father." The everlasting Father, Aviad, and the Prince of Peace, Sar Shalom. All of this is Jewish. It's Hebrew. It's given to the Jewish people. Not only is he going to be the Prince of Peace, but then it says, "Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it, and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts shall perform this." Direct correlation to the Davidic covenant. That God promised David that there would be a son that he would one day have, not referring to Solomon, but a special son, the anointed one, that would be ruler upon David's throne forever. This is amazing. This commences when Jesus sets up his millennial messianic kingdom at the end of the tribulation period, where he would rule and reign from David's throne in Jerusalem. And that kingdom would be 1,000 years and then usher on into eternity. And that to his rule, to his dominion, there would be no end. What else is amazing is in Micah chapter 5 and verse 2, which is actually verse 1 in the Hebrew. It says, "But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall come forth unto me one who is to be ruler in Israel." The subject is the same, speaking of the same person, the Messiah. One who is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth are from of old, even from everlasting. And so the Messiah, who's going to be born in the city of David, the city of David's birth, Bethlehem, is going to be from eternity past. That little baby born in the manger, his origins did not start that day. His origins go back to eternity past. He is God in a human body, the Son of God and the Son of David in human flesh. This is what we celebrate at Christmas time. And the amazing thing is Both Joseph and Mary were of the house and lineage of David. Jesus, as the Messiah, had the legal right to the throne through his earthly father, Joseph, and he had the royal right to the throne through his mother, Mary. And Joseph wasn't Jesus' actual physical father. Jesus' real father is God himself. As we find as we read through the Gospels, that Mary conceived Jesus in her womb from the Holy Ghost. This is announced to her by the angel, and later to Joseph, so that he would know that the baby that she was carrying was conceived from God himself. And so the interesting thing is, I want you to look at this through Jewish eyes, with a Jewish context. We see a Jewish couple that are engaged to be married, betrothed, Joseph and Mary. Both Israelites, Israelis in today's language, going down to Bethlehem, Judah, to give birth to the one that is written about in the Hebrew Scriptures. The amazing thing is, okay, I'm wearing my Hanukkah shirt here today, but Christmas is intrinsically, inseparably Jewish, in and out and throughout, in every way, which is just amazing. And if we don't see it in that correct lens, we're missing out on the correct context and perspective of not only Christmas, but the gospel itself. Now, if you want to see a video that I did about the virgin birth, you can tap this right here. And I hope and pray that you have a blessed and merry Christmas.